Hi there, and welcome to episode 4 of This Guy Edits, where you get to see this guy edit. So today we're finally going to start to do some real editing. And I'm going to just take you along as I'm cutting my first scene of the movie. I'm actually working with a different software today. I'm cutting this scene in Final Cut Pro 10. Originally I was cutting the movie in DaVinci Resolve, but there are some problems with the multicam where I can't really access the original audio, the original 6 mics, and I want to be able to have that controlled, that I can really determine which microphone I'm going to listen to at what point. To do a test, I'm switching over to Final Cut 10 and I'm going to cut the scene here. What I've done with this scene is that I've already selected all my shots, I synced them up, and I created multicams. So I'm showing you the other side here, and as you can see, I have all my different shots here, and I can actually view them. And as I'm scrolling through the shots, you can actually see the different camera angles showing up. What I'm going to do right now for you is I'm just going to play a little bit of the scene so you get an idea of what kind of coverage we have in the scene, and also you just sort of get an idea of what the linear action is that's being recorded. So I'm going to start off with the single shot, white shot, which is the master, and I'm going to play a little bit for you.
Oh my god, this is so fucking good. This is like my first real meal in a long time.
Why, you didn't like what they served with the present?
No. It was disgusting. It was like eating slop.
So that's what the master shot looks like. I'm going to move on to some other shots. So here we have a medium shot over the shoulder.
Why? You didn't like the stuff they served in prison?
No. It was disgusting. It was like slop.
So in that same shot we actually have kind of an insert of the pizza. We have a profile shot of Mark here. We have a medium close-up shot here of Mark. We have the corresponding over the shoulder and medium close-up of Guillermo.
That person could go insane just from all the new knowledge and experiences from that.
So you have a little bit of an idea of what kind of coverage we have. So I'm just going to start cutting away. Traditionally, this scene, you could start off in a master in a wide shot, and then you work your way closer and closer as the scene unfolds. And you want to emphasize certain moments. There's many ways you can cut a scene, and you can already start off with an insert right from the beginning as somebody picks up the pizza. You could stay close all the way. It just sort of depends on how you want to play out the scene. For this very first cut, I'll start off with a master.
Oh my god, this is so fucking good. This is like my first real meal.
So I'll cut that in. That's my first shot. And the one thing that I already noticed is he's talking about what this pizza means to him. And he's giving us context to understand. He's been in prison, he hasn't had a pizza in 5 years, this is really special to him. I feel like that makes sense in the script, but I want to try and have him show us what it's like to experience this pizza and not tell us. And that's one part of editing, is you kind of want people to feel what's going on in a scene as opposed to the audience is being told to. So let's play that scene one more time.
Oh my god, this is so fucking good.
I'm just going to cut before he speaks. Right here. And I'll take the rest out. And I'm going to punch into the scene. Maybe that shot here on top, that medium over the shoulder, gets us close enough.
Oh my god. Dog, no.
Right here.
Oh my god.
cut that in. So let's see those two shots together.
Oh my god.
Let's even take out the oh my god.
Oh my god.
Although I guess it's okay. It's not really telling us anything. And I'm already seeing there's an insert shot here of the pizza, so maybe I'm going to cut to that as well. And I'll just put it on the second layer for now. Okay, there we go.
Oh my god. This is like the first meal. First real meal that I'm eating.
So now I'm actually going to tell the audience, after they've experienced it.
This is like the first meal. First real meal that I'm eating.
And he has a little bit of a stumble there. He repeats the line, and I can clean that up.
This is like the first meal. First real meal that I'm eating.
So he's saying, this is like the first meal, first real meal. I want him to say, this is like the first real meal. So right here,
First meal.
take that part out.
This is like the first real meal that I'm eating. This is like the first real meal that I'm eating.
So now you obviously see there's a jump cut there.
This is like the first real meal that I'm eating.
And I'm just going to cut that, I'm going to hide that with the B-roll shot that I have here by either making it a little bit longer.
This is like the first real meal that I'm eating.
And then the next line is from G saying, what, you didn't like the food in prison?
Why? You didn't like the stuff they served in prison?
No.
So, and I want to see him. I want to see G for that. So I'm going to look for an angle that sort of is in the same vein. Not that I could cut closer if I wanted to, or wider, but I usually want to match those shots unless I really want to make a certain point. I want to point something out. So I'm going to see how he says it in this shot.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
No. I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was like eating dog food.
Okay, so we can use that. One thing I noticed is G actually says slop in prison, and the line in the script is food in prison. What, you didn't like the food in prison? And then Mark's response was supposed to be, no, I didn't. It's like slop. So Guillermo already sort of anticipated that and subconsciously used the word slop, and then Mark has to change up his performance because now he can say to, hey, why you didn't like the slop in prison? No, I didn't. It was like slop. Doesn't make sense anymore. So he actually improvises here, and it creates what I think actually a real interesting moment. Let's play it.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
No. I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was like eating dog food.
So he was suddenly kind of amused by this, and he spun it in a different way and said, that's exactly what it was, slop. And for me, how that reads now in the scene, it reads as if Guillermo is very perceptive and Mark is appreciating the intelligence of his little brother that he has the insight to call it slop. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I think it works, and I'm going to try it for this first cut.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
No. I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was.
And then at this point, I can go back to the original line and cut to Mark. Let's see how he says it here in this closer shot.
No. It was slop. It was literally like. It was literally like eating dog food. It was disgusting.
So I hear a train in the background. And the shot feels a little close to me. Let's see if I can find a different one, like this one.
Why? You didn't like the stuff they served in prison?
No. It was disgusting. It was like slop. It was literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended up dog and served it to you.
That's not bad. I'm gonna put it in for now.
It was slop, man. It was literally like
Just take off that little bit of it.
man. It was literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended up dog and served it to you.
So I hear the train in the background, and this shot doesn't have the train.
That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended up dog and served it to you.
But I can fix that by finding another train and just cutting it over and blending it. So the train would start somewhere here, just the audio file, and it would cover up that difference in sound. But I'll worry about that later. Let's look at the beginning one more time.
Oh my god. This is like the first real meal that I've eaten.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
No, I didn't.
So here's something that interesting happens. G actually, I think he's unaware of it, but he tends to look away, and sometimes it looks like he's looking straight at the camera. So I want to minimize that as much as possible, because every time he looks straight into the camera, it sort of jars the audience in a way that they sort of get thrown for a loop, where suddenly they become aware of what is called the fourth wall. And I've talked about that in an earlier episode.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
Right here, at that point, it looks as if he's looking straight into the lens. I'm going to come into the shot a little bit later, if I can. And I'm going to stay on mark. I'm going to stay on mark until G is looking back at him, right there.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
No, I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended up.
Okay, I think I fixed that.
Why? You didn't like the slop in prison?
No, I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was literally like dog food.
Okay, so now let's take care of this train noise here. I already found another train in one of the takes that is completely clean. They weren't talking. And I have the whole... I can show you this. I'm just going to cut it here. And then I fade it out. And I can use that audio to blend the two shots together. Like so.
No, I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended.
And then here I just turn off a couple of those microphones.
Blended up.
I think it's G's microphone. As he's shifting, I can hear sort of the rustling noise on his jacket.
Dog food. It was like they blended up.
So I'm gonna expand all the audio components, and I'm gonna see which one of the two it is. It's actually the other one. So I'm gonna mute his microphone.
Literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended up dog and served it to you.
So now I don't hear his microphone anymore, so it sounds much better.
That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was literally like dog food.
Okay. So I'm just going to keep massaging for a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll pick it up from there. So welcome back. For you it's been like 2 seconds. For me, it's been maybe a half hour. And this is what I have so far in the scene. Let me show you.
Oh my god. This is like the first real meal that I've eaten.
Why, you didn't like the slop in prison?
No, I didn't. That's exactly what it was. It was slop, man. It was literally like dog food. Like literally dog food. It was like they blended up dog and served it to you.
Great conversation to have while we're eating.
No, right. Sorry. I'll stop talking about it.
What's it like on the outside?
It feels weird. Kind of feels weird because it feels kind of normal, you know, like I haven't skipped a beat. But I don't know. It also kind of feels like I've been born again. You know, it's like fresh. Everything's fresh. New start. New life. And then sad.
Getting pretty metaphysical, aren't you?
So this is as far as I've gotten, and this whole scene now takes a turn where it actually turns out that G is the one that has deep insights on metaphysical theories and philosophy, and he shares some of those theories with his brother. It's all about reality, experiencing reality, and turning insane if somehow your world changes, which sort of relates to Mark being in prison and now he's out and he's experiencing a whole new reality and how his brain is going to deal with this. And that's really the essence of the scene. I'm not going to show it to you here. For the sake of this exercise, it's just about editing, so that's where I'm going to leave it off today. But I hope you did enjoy this episode, and if you did, please give it a like, ask a question. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and please tune in again when we cut a new scene. Until then, have a good one.